Hi everybody, this is Lara with your free daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. Bitcoin's moving higher, which is what I've been expecting. There's a little bit of a push from volume today, although yesterday we saw a decline in volume. I want to see a new high for above 28,145.56 by any amount at any time frame to have more confidence that this low for Bitcoin of the 11th of September is going to be sustained. There's some reasonable technical evidence to suggest that it's likely to be sustained, but I would have more confidence with a new high above this point. There is a death cross with the 50-day moving average crossing below the 200-day moving average on the 11th of September. But it's been followed just by 3 days so far of upward movement and the strong bullish engulfing pattern with push from volume. So be a little bit hesitant to read too much into this. I suspect the 50-day may whipsaw back above the 200-day. Let's see how this one unfolds. But this is the price point I'm really looking for to see this breached. I'm expecting it's quite likely for Bitcoin here to continue on higher, but price will not move in a straight line. Don't expect it to do that. Look for resistance at 27,400. We may see a pullback or consolidation there. There's pretty strong resistance just below 29,000 as well. Again, a pullback or consolidation may occur there. And then next resistance above 31,000. A little bit of an increase for volume today beyond yesterday, so that's good to see, but still not as good as the 11th of September. ADX is still declining after telling us that the downward trend reached extreme, but not very extreme. RSI reached fairly deeply oversold and exhibits double bullish divergence. This is some of the technical evidence that tells me to expect a likely low for Bitcoin here on the 11th of September. Money flow also reached oversold and exhibits single bullish divergence. And ATR is still overall flat. If we're in the early stages of a new bull market, I'd expect to start to see some increase in ATR in coming weeks as volatility returns to the market. For Ethereum, the weekly Elliott Wave count sees a third wave at primary degree in its very early stages, with intermediate wave 1 incomplete, starting out with minor 1 and 2 and minute 1 and 2. Now expected to see an increase in upward momentum for a third wave at minute and minor degree. This is a base channel I've drawn around minor 1 and 2. Minute 2 found support beautifully at the lower edge of that channel. The power of a third wave at 2 degrees should be able to break through resistance at the upper edge of the channel in coming weeks. And if that happens, I'll look for a pullback to find support, a back test of support before price moves up and away. That will be very typical expected behaviour. Minute wave 2 may not move beyond the start of 1 below 1074.40. On the daily chart, my preferred Elliott Wave count and my alternate's been invalidated now. For Ethereum sees a correction over here for minute wave 2 with minuet C beginning here, a 5-wave impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fits beautifully. Technicals for Ethereum, I said yesterday I wanted to see this lower edge of the flag pattern which had provided support for the bounce of the 12th of September. I wanted to see price move back above resistance at that line. It looks like this session it may do that. It may manage to close above that line. That would be a very good bullish indicator. At the low here for Ethereum, there is a bullish piercing candlestick pattern, but it doesn't have support from volume. Volume today is showing a little bit of an increase beyond the previous session, but still not as high as the 11th of September, but it is really nice to see a little increase in volume today. Ethereum has a range for on-balance volume that has weak technical significance. The significance is weak because the trend lines have quite a strong slope. It does remain range-bound. If it can break above this resistance line, that would be a weak bullish signal for Ethereum, so I'll keep an eye on this resistance line for on-balance volume in coming days for you. ADX reached very extreme for this downward trend for Ethereum. Given that ADX reached very extreme, RSI was fairly deeply oversold, as was money flow. They exhibit divergence and we have a bullish candlestick reversal pattern. That when I see all of those things happen at the same time, it adds confidence that a low may very well be found. Here's that bullish divergence between price and RSI and price and money flow. Now I'll be watching for ATR as a measurement of volatility to start to show some increase if this is the new start of a new bullish run for Ethereum. It hasn't done so yet. Very early days though. Now for XRP, I've got a little bit of a problem with the wave count. On the weekly chart, there's not a problem. I see primary 1 leading expanding diagonal, primary 2 double zigzag, Minor 1, another leading expanding diagonal. Minor 2, I expect maybe an incomplete corrective structure to correct closer to the 40-cent mark to be a more normal depth for a second wave correction for a cryptocurrency, particularly a second wave following a first wave leading diagonal. But the problem is now in the detail down here. Well, first of all, this is the alternate daily chart for XRP. It expects the low for minor 2 could have been over here as a 74.5% correction of minor 1, and now minor 3 beginning with minute 1 over here. Minute 2 could have been a double zigzag. Now this has a good fit. A, B, C, the first zigzag in the W, X, A, B, C, the second zigzag in the W for Y. Beautiful fit, fitting nicely within the channel so far. But this is the main wave count, and now this is the problem. For minor 2, we've got W, the first zigzag, X, and then A, B, C to continue lower. C must subdivide as a 5-wave motive structure, and I'll show you the problem with this wave count now. Well, you want to put 1 and 2 here, and this is where I've had it. And then you want to put 3 here, but 4 is now overlapping wave 1 price territory. This can't be a diagonal, and I'll show you why. So if I put an ending diagonal on here, the diagonal should be expanding. 3 is not longer than 1, but 4 is longer than 2. So the wavelengths so far for this potential diagonal just don't work at this stage. So I'm just not going to put any labels on C and see how this one unfolds, but what this is telling me is this alternate wave count could actually be right for XRP. So our lower probability outcome could be the outcome that's occurring. And price is today closing above, well, it hasn't closed yet, but it's the 3:30 in the afternoon. It looks like it's probably going to close outside of the channel, but my definition of a channel breach is really conservative. I want to see a full daily candlestick above and not touching this trend line of upward movement. If we get that tomorrow, then I would say that this channel that contains all of this bearish movement, apart from an overshoot here, is breached. And that would tell us that there's likely been a trend change. I was expecting XRP was likely to make new lows down to 40 cents because it's so weak up off this low. There's no bullish candlestick reversal pattern, and there isn't any strength in volume, and price just moved sideways, finding resistance at the lower edge of this channel I've got on the technical chart. So I was expecting a continuation of downward movement and next support at 40 cents. So far for XRP, there's a series of lower highs and lower lows. That's the basic definition of a downward trend. In order for that basic pattern to be broken, we need to see a new high above 0.6650. If that happens, then I will have confidence XRP found a low back here on the 17th of August. While that hasn't happened, I'll expect the trend to continue. The trend remains the same until proven otherwise. Volume is strongest on downward sessions. A little bit of an increase in volume today for XRP for an upward session though, so that's actually good for a bullish case. Starting to see just a little bit of strength return. On balance volume might be giving us a little signal. Now it's not very clear today. Now this support line had 3 tests. It was broken. That gave us a bearish signal. Now on balance volume is coming back up. And if it breaks above this line, it'll break through resistance. They're giving us a weak bullish signal. The signal is weak because the line was broken, which weakens its significance, and it only had 3 tests prior anyway. But it would still be a bullish signal. That in conjunction with a little increase in volume and a real problematic Elliott Wave count for the bearish case, putting all that together, it's starting to look like XRP might not continue down to 40 cents. ADX still tells us there's a downward trend for XRP, and for this one it didn't reach extreme. But RSI did reach fairly oversold and exhibits single bullish divergence, so that's quite bullish. If the low's not in for XRP here already, then I'd expect it to be coming sooner rather than later. And money flow reached oversold and exhibits double bullish divergence. For ATR as a measure of volatility, if there's a new bull market for XRP, I would expect this very pathetic low ATR to start to show an increase in the next few weeks as volatility returns to the market. That's it from me with your daily update for those 3 cryptocurrencies, and I hope everyone's having an awesome day, and thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for commenting and liking. All of your engagement helps me grow my YouTube channel.